Hello, this is Joe83. This is another episode of Salvaging Sauber, and this time it's the Bahrain Grand Prix episode 3, and we have Chris here giving us some information about upgrades and stuff, so let's see what he has to say. And I think it's the upgrade I put on Australia, so hopefully it'll be a decent impact for this race. It's the rear downforce, rear wing upgrade for the Sauber car, so we're now actually not the worst on downforce, so Haas are worse than us apparently, so I'm just going to show that here, although it doesn't actually come up for some reason, but oh, there it is. We are now better than Haas, so we're not worst at something. So we've got the second worst aerodynamics and the second worst engine, and then everything else we're the worst at. So, and I got an achievement called Chris Knows Best, which things are a little bit questionable. But on to practice we must go, and obviously it's daytime, so it's not really that useful, if you will, because the race is at night, obviously. So practice. I'll do some practice programs. And the track classification here, we've got quite a few green scores. I'm struggling to get used to this Bahrain track. Obviously the Sauber is very low performance, and I do like this track on previous games. I don't know about it on this game, but in the Sauber it's hard to like any track really. But China was decent last time with the points. We just about scraped a purple score there. And then the next one is the fuel economy practice program. We're in the green score just about, with a little bit of a time on the delta, so that's a green score there as well, and I'll take that. And then the tyre wear test, we're about a tenth and a half up, and just about into the green score, scraping it as we did in China. So very nice there. Another, I think it's 30 resource points to get, I can't quite remember. And now onto the race strategy sim, or whatever it is, the one where you have to do more than one lap, which is a little bit annoying, and we're 4/10 up on the time, and this should be enough for the purple score. And yes, it is. You get 20 extra points when you change the scores, so that's a purple score. And then onto qualifying at the dusk time of day in the Bahrain air, and going around the final corner now on my only running qualifying. Well, this is my second run actually, as you can see I've already got the best of a 1:33.8, and we're about 6/10 up on it at the minute with 4 minutes left in the session. So coming up towards the line, and it's going to put me in 20th, unfortunately, behind Van Dorn and Pascal Wehrlein. And now I'm back in the pits, trying to go again, because I used the return to garage thing, putting on a new set of tyres, and unfortunately there isn't enough time left to get out again, which is a little bit annoying. And that left me in last place, which was rather annoying, but what can you do? It's happened now. We're about a second and a half off of Wehrlein, which wasn't very good. But now let's have a quick look at the grid for the race. Obviously that was just Q1, and it is Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas making it Mercedes front row once again, and I'll let Crofty take you through the rest of the grid.
Vettel, Felipe Massa and Verstappen, Ricciardo, Stroll, Perez and Roman Grosjean, Hulkenberg, Sainz, Daniel Kvyat and Magnussen, Ocon, Palmer, Stoffel Van Dorn and Fernando Alonso, Wehrlein, and a Sauber rounds off the grid.
So race strategy, and it looks like a 2-stop race. I tried to experiment, trying to see if the 1-stop is possible, but it seems to be a bit slower, so I'm not going to go for that. We're going for the 2-stop, super soft and then double soft. Maybe I'll go mediums, super soft, but I don't know yet. 5 red lights for the Bahrain Grand Prix though, and it's quite a long hold here, and lights out, and away we go, and it's a decent start. It looks like Wehrlein's got a very good start. I got a load of fishtailing on the shifting up through the gears. Van Dorn's got bogged down a lot. We're going to go up the inside of him, and Alonso looks like into turn 1. We're going to dive from it as many cars as we can, up the inside of loads of cars. I think the 2 Toro Rossos and one of the House cars, and Hulkenberg. We're almost up into 11th place, but Hulkenberg's held it around the outside. We go around the outside of Hulkenberg. There's a lot of Ricciardo is going slowly ahead of me. We go around the outside of Perez as well, up into 10th place now. We're alongside Ricciardo into turn 4. Ricciardo's broken later though, and he's up the inside of Grosjean, but we don't hold it around the outside. Actually, it's Perez. I don't know where Ricciardo is. He's still alongside me. The Australian in the Red Bull. We're battling him already in only episode 3, and Ricciardo's still on the inside. I almost squeezed over the curb there. Ricciardo just about holds it off there, it looks like. We're going diving up the inside of about turn 7, I believe this is, and over the curve slightly. We get a load of understeer and almost force Ricciardo off, but he just about managed to hold it around the outside. Now Hulkenberg's going around the outside. We're going to brake early on the inside line for this next lock-up corner, as I like to call it, and Hulkenberg is right around the outside, and we just about force him over the curve and retain the 11th place off the line, which is very, very good stuff, because obviously points are kind of out of the question, so it's all about getting the good results really. But now you can see my engine is already orange, it looks like, because I didn't replace any of the parts for this race, as they need to do like 4 rounds each for it to be viable by the end of the season. But now Hulkenberg is in the slipstream on lap 3, so is Daniel Kvyat. They're going side by side now, the Russian and the German. They're going to go 3 wide with me, Kvyat at the inside and Hulkenberg around the outside. I brake later though, and they just about stay behind me for the time being. Hulkenberg retains that position from Kvyat as well, it looks like. And we're still in 11th place, but Ricciardo has completely run away from me at this point, unfortunately. And obviously looks like points are kind of out of the question already with that gap that was ahead of us. But now Hulkenberg is once again the DRS on the end of lap 3, beginning of lap 4 now. And I'm going to go defensive. Hulkenberg's going to switch to the outside. Kvyat's right behind as well. He's going to go to the inside line. It's going to be 3 wide once again down towards turn 1. I'm going to switch it to the inside on Kvyat. Brake later than him. Dive it up the inside. It's going to be 3 wide. Lock up a brake almost. Kvyat has hit Sainz a little bit. Hulkenberg's got through the pair of us. So I'm going to hold it around the outside of Kvyat. And we just about hold that off for the time for now. But Hulkenberg unfortunately got through. So we're down to 12th place. And we started the 2 Star Rosses right behind. We've gone wide in turn 11 and onto the curbing, and that's given us a terrible run through the start, the end of the middle sector, and crossing the middle sector line. We're already 2 seconds back on Hulkenberg in just half a lap, so that's not gone very well. But now Kvyat is in the slipstream. He's going to go remove. He's got a much better run into the final corner. Down Kvyat switches to the inside, and we're going to brake and try and maybe do an undercut on him, but he's actually going to hold it. We're going to go right around the outside, swing it around the outside. And Kvyat's still alongside though, so I don't know who's going to have DRS, but it's probably going to be him. I know Sainz will a lot as well behind me. It's going to be 3 wide with the Toro Rossos now, and Kvyat has DRS unfortunately, so we're going to duck back into the slipstream. Sainz going through, Palmer's going through as well. There's cars everywhere. I'm just a sitting duck without the DRS and a slipstream, and we're going to go diving up the inside of the pair though, both Toro Rossos, and we've just about jumped up the inside, and we're back up into 12th place, but we actually just go massively off the track there. Not quite sure what that's about. But they actually held each other up massively, but still on lap 5 they've caught it up again. Sainz in the slipstream and DRS on me, and he's going to go up the inside into the next corner, and he's going to, I'm trying to hold it around the outside just about, maybe no, Sainz gets a good exit. We're going to do a switchback though up the inside now, and that is a very nice move. It comes off, but we're going to try side by side through that corner. That doesn't really pay off, and Sainz has got that position back, but he's broken on a different line. We're going to try and get a good run, but unfortunately the Sauber is not very good at getting very good runs, so Palmer is now the next car behind me, and he's going to go for a move at the inside, looks like, and we're going to try and just stick in the slipstream Carlos Sainz and get the good top speed. But Palmer is right on the inside, a lot of contact made, and Palmer's forced his way through there up into 13th, so I'm just dropping down the order like nobody's business at the minute, and it's not going very well for me. But Kvyat now has DRS as well. We're going to try and force him to the inside. We might not actually. Ocon's there as well. He'll have good top speed, I reckon. And it's going to be 3 wide almost once again. And with Ocon and Kvyat, we just about to have to leave a space on both sides, but we held them off for the time being, and still in 13th place. But unfortunately, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a struggle in the race from here on in. But it's coming down on lap 7, a few laps later, and Kvyat is right behind me again with the slipstream open, and there's Ko Magnussen behind as well in his Haas car. And Kvyat's going to switch to the inside. Magnussen's going to try and take advantage on the outside line. It's going to be 3 wide once again with the pair of us. I'm down the middle, and Kvyat and Magnussen both have passed me at this point. We're 3 wide into turn 1, the hairpin, and we just about held off Kvyat. Magnussen's going slowly, and we just about swing it around the outside. We're back up into 5th place, even because a few of the front rows are pitted. And now onto lap 8, and Magnussen once again is still behind me, still on the same lap actually, and my tyre is giving up. One thing I've noticed is that when your tyres get to about 68 or 70%, like they feel absolutely terrible and lock up everywhere, as you can see here. Just no turning at all. Magnussen's going to go past. I'm on the artificial sand. Kvyat's going past. There's Massa going past. Ocon is the next in line to try and pass me as well. And there he goes, the Frenchman. And we're just trying to, like, we're falling like I don't even know, something quite heavy that you just let go. And now we're speaking on the outside of Ocon actually, so that's pretty good. And we're going to pit this lap as the tyre is getting towards the end of its life on lap 8. And we're going to put the limiter on now and pit in for this time, and we're already down to 16th, so that's not gone very well. We've got Ocon right behind me and one of the car. I'm not quite sure who that is, but we're going to go, it's a McLaren actually, I think it's Alonso. Oh no, it's off of Van Dorn, but we're going to go into the pits, and obviously the new pit lane system put the clutch in and the revs, but oh, I've completely bottled it. What is going on? I've shifted into second, and that has not gone well. That was about a 6 or 7 second pit stop because I completely bottled the pit exit, so that's gone very well for me. I'm down to last place. Everyone has jumped me into pits, and that's not gone very well. So, and the engine is obviously orange already, so it's not really got much performance left in it. So it's going to be a struggle to try and overtake anyone in a straight line, really. But now you can just see once again, as in Australia, I've been undercut by absolutely everyone. And there goes Alonso. We've just about overtaken him as he's got that GP2 engine of his, but going into turn 1, we're 19th now, when we were about 13th before the stops. So that's not gone very well for me. But down onto lap 12, Alonso's caught up on his super softs. I forgot to say I'm on the mediums now, so trying a different strategy to the one Jeff suggested. But Alonso's going to swing to the inside with his Honda engine, which has actually managed to overtake me, which kind of shows just how badly my engine parts are doing in this race. But we hold it around the outside. Alonso, decent battling, but now Alonso holds it around the outside again, and he's got a much better run. He forced me off the track almost. A bit aggressive there from the Spaniard. But we're into the slipstream, and obviously our engine is probably still just about faster than the Honda engine. We're going to try and do a switchback on Alonso, but we get a little bit of oversteer, and the next corner is left-hander, so unfortunately that is not going to work in my favour. And Alonso has got that position, so I'm back down to last place, but my teammate isn't too far up the road. And all these drivers are on super soft, so at the end we're going to have super softs compared to their mediums, so who knows, we could bring it back. But now a few cars are in the pits, including Danny Kvyat, so up into 16th place. Alonso's pulled a bit of a gap on his super soft tyres, and my mediums just haven't really been performing very well. But we're up into 16th. You can just see the engine. The MGUK is on 72, and the ICE is on 69 as well, so it's not going very well for me. But mind that motorbike outside, I don't know if you could hear it, but then Kvyat is going for the move at the inside, and he's just about forced his way through without DRS open for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. Oh yeah, because there's a yellow flag as someone's retired actually, so that's pretty helpful. That's another position for me. And that means that you can't use DRS down to turn 1, as we see in real life sometimes it gets deactivated when a car goes off in a DRS zone, so that might have been put in the game, I'm not quite sure. But now I'm running out of fuel a little bit, we've not got much to spare. We're going diving up the inside Kvyat, and what a torpedo move that was on the torpedo himself. And that was a lovely little dive bomb, well executed there. And now on lap 19, Kvyat is still right behind me. My tyres are coming towards the end of their life, and so is my engine, but it'll make it to the end, I think. And Kvyat is right behind me. He's going to try and go for a move. He's got a much better run through the S section, and he's going to go to the inside line, and there's nothing really I can do here. The Toro Rosso with the, I think it's a Renault engine, but I think the game glitched and it's a Ferrari engine on here, but who knows. I actually just do a switch back on him and get that position back. But now Kvyat's in the slipstream. I have DRS actually, so that might favour me a little bit, but Kvyat's going to go to the inside anyway, and he does have the better engine at this point, as my engine's pretty much on its last legs. And we're going to break his turn 1. Kvyat isn't really ahead of me though, so we could have a chance of defending it from him here. And we go swing it around the outside, and that looks like we've defended reasonably well. And yes, we have a lot of oversteer on exit, but now to lap 20. And Kvyat once again looks like he's in prime position to try and take advantage of my very worn prime tyres. And yeah, he's got a very good run. He's going to go up the inside. I think I'm going to box this lap, or maybe the next lap, I'm not quite sure yet. But onto super soft tyres hopefully, and that can mean we go to the end on those, but I'm pretty sure I won't be anywhere near these drivers, as these are all going to the end already, so that's not going to go very well for me. But Kvyat unfortunately did get past me into the final corner, and we are open DRS though. We could maybe have a go into turn 1, but it looks unlikely. Kvyat has the top speed compared to me, with even with DRS, the engine is really suffering at this point. But I'm actually going to go diving up the inside of Kvyat, and from a long way back, we just about forced him out into 14th place, but really all this is doing is hampering him, because I'm not really racing him. We got another pit stop to make, but even so, I might as well hamper him while we can. Show everyone what we're made of a little bit, show that we know pushovers in the Sauber. And now Kvyat is right behind me once again through the lock-up corner, and he's going to go switch to the outside with his DRS open down the back straight. And we're going to box this, like you can see the pit light is on in the bottom corner, and Kvyat just about makes contact with me actually while swinging around the outside, and Grosjean is now the next car behind. We've been holding up Kvyat that badly that Grosjean's been able to catch him up really. And the Frenchman is going to try and take advantage here. I run off the track a little bit. The tyre is over 70%, which means it's pretty terrible once again. And Grosjean is in prime position to try and take advantage again, and he's going to go out the inside. I've had slightly damaged front wing now because of that contact with Kvyat, which is a little bit annoying. But Grosjean goes up the inside. I'm not really going to try and stop him at this point. I'm pitting this lap, so not really much point. We're going to brake for the line coming up now, and Van Dorn is not too far behind me on the road, so he's definitely going to jump me, and so is Fernando Alonso, who I believe is 18th at the minute, so it's not going very well for the two-time world champion on his soft tyres in the McLaren at the minute. But Pascal Wehrlein, I think, had an issue. The engineer came over and said Pascal has a mechanical issue, so hopefully that doesn't affect me at all. But that should mean that we don't get overtaken by him, because his car will be going a lot slower, and that time I didn't bottle a stop, so that stop was alright. 2.7, good job by the Sauber boys. And coming out the pits, and Wehrlein is just nowhere to be seen really, so that's, oh, he's there actually on the mini map, you can just about see him, but I think he has a mechanical issue, so that should mean that he's not going to be able to threaten me at all, especially on the super soft tyres compared to his old mediums. But now we've just come out of the pit, car coming out of the pits was Lewis Hamilton, so we're going to have to let him through, and I'm not quite sure who's leading, but Hamilton's in second, and I think there's another car behind, a Ferrari in third, so it depends who it is, but I don't really know who's winning this race at the minute. But obviously we saw a Mercedes front row, so it'd be pretty sensible if it was Valtteri Bottas, but Hamilton just about goes up the outside. I almost make contact with him there because I broke too late by accident, but no damage done, and we're going to let Vettel through as well into the S section. There he goes, Sebastian Vettel. So that must mean it's either Raikkonen or Bottas, which is quite surprising, and it's actually Valtteri Bottas who's won this race, so well done to him. But that's his third win in a row actually, but after China and Australia, and we are coming across the line for 18th place, which is, yeah, bang average. But we're going to have a race like this in the Sauber. It's not all going to be plain sailing, and unfortunately that's just the way it goes. 18th place, I beat my teammate, but then he had a mechanical issue, so there's not really anything to compare myself with. And Valtteri Bottas on the podium, on the top step of the podium for the third race in a row, with Hamilton and Vettel, the two champions, alongside him. And Bottas really taking a claim for this World Championship. It's pretty surprising because like he's not actually very good compared to Hamilton and Vettel in real life, so he might just be getting lucky in this. But if he wins another race, and that's 4 in a row, and like as we saw in 2016, drivers who win 4 in a row have never lost the World Championship, so it's surprising that Bottas is doing this well, I think, but I don't know, he might just be pretty solid. So let's look at the results then. Bottas, Hamilton, Vettel, with Red Bulls of Verstappen and Ricciardo in the top 5, with Perez, Massa, Hulkenberg, Sainz and Ocon rounding out the points, and then Raikkonen DNF'd. And the standings now, after my points in China, I imagine I'll be falling down the table for a bit. I'm still 15th place with Verline 19th, and unfortunately the constructors were down below Renault again because Hulkenberg got more points. But coming on to the all the team approval and stuff, that is that, and you can see what's happening on the screen. But leave a like if you like the video, subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. This has been Joey 83, and I will see you next time.